Yo, what's good YouTube? ZAMCRO here, aka Scoop, back with the Brawl for All tournament, and we have our pool play. We were matched up with Honey Badger, Hamu, Sacred Wings, and Kalio. uh, in our first match, we were able to face off against Honey Badger. He was the opponent to respond quickest and be ready quickest, and we were able to build a pretty fun squad. We have a Choice Scarf Garchomp with Dragon Claw, Outrage, Earthquake, and I want to say our last move was actually Toxic or something to potentially catch something like Suicune or Araquanid or even the Comfy upon switching, as you see on screen. Um, we have a Clefable which has Moonblast. It's a pretty solid check to Clefable, or excuse me, Mega Gallade and Weavile. Definitely had to bring it. It's an unaware mon as well. I had to because of the Suicune and the Mega Gallade. They're huge threats. We have Nidoqueen here, which I almost brought Taunt on, but ended up not because I felt like I had a different way to combat sticky webs. As you can see, my team doesn't appreciate sticky webs, and I don't have a way to remove them if he does get them up. So that's a little bit unfortunate. But I felt like I could bring a little bit of heat in my chestnut and use it as a lead if he brought the Araquanid, and it's going to be like a substitute belly drum variant. And I got a lot of heat for it because, as you'll see, my HP stat is not even. It's odd, which is what I wanted. Now, people thought I made a mistake, but I did not make a mistake. I wanted it to be odd so that after I sub up and click belly drum, if something like Weavile, for example, was able to come in, or anything really was able to come in and break my sub, especially Weavile having Ice Shard and the Comfy having Draining Kiss priority, I wanted to be able to, take that and get one more sub up. And if I was to get a Toxicoff with Licky Licky or something like that versus those Mons, then that Toxic would build up, and it could potentially be in a position where, as I sub up, they break my sub, and then I sub up once again, and they die to Toxic, and then their priority can't break my following sub, and then I have the sweep. You know what I'm saying? As you can see, he has no resistances to things like Seed Bomb and Drain Punch. He doesn't have a resistance to both. Like, it's either neutral or it's super effective, and it's a really cool set here. And we've got a Mega Alakazam. We are, what are we speed creeping? I felt like his Gallade and his Weavile would be speed creeping my Garchomp only. They don't need to speed creep anything else, so I got my Mega Alakazam speed creeping those. And basically, Licky Licky is a Wish Protect variant, and I think Nidoqueen is our Stealth Rocker. So let's go ahead and hop into it. We're going to lead off with our Chestnut, expecting the Araquanid, and we're going to go straight for the substitute here, as he goes for the Magic Coat, predicting our Spikes. The following turn, we're going to click Belly Drum as my opponent gets up Sticky Webs. Here I'm going to go for the Seed Bomb, and as you can see, my Salad Berry did not pop, so my opponent doesn't know if I'm actually Salad Berry yet. And here, I was kind of confused on what my opponent might do here. I thought he may click Beat Up, which I don't know if it would actually knock me out, but it would definitely be able to break my sub. And he's going to go first, obviously, but he's going to break my sub and potentially get enough damage off on me to knock me out. So I thought Drain Punch was my play here, to get some health back. But at the same time, I could understand why substituting here could be my play. Actually, substituting here could win me the game, honestly, depending on the rest of his sets. So what I'm going to do is actually just click Drain Punch, which was a little bit of a misplay. Like I said, ooh, okay, so I didn't notice this in game. I was so confused on how he actually lived this, but he was actually Focus Sash and Pickpocket. That's how he got my Salad Berry. I was wondering how he got a speed boost. So had I subbed there, I would have gotten the speed boost, and then I don't think I would have been able to. Well, actually, I would have been behind a sub, and I would have probably knocked him out. But he was sashed, so I don't think it would matter really. Anyways, I'm going to bring in my Clefable here to Revenge Kill, but he's going to hard switch out into his Nidoking. That was a given, so I go ahead and click the knockoff, get rid of his Life Orb, and my Leaky Leaky is designed to take on a special variant of Nidoqueen, and he gets up his rocks. So now he's got rocks and webs up, and I'm going to go for a Wish here. I wasn't real sure what he would do, but he is poisoned, so that's not too big of an issue to me. And what I can do is hard switch out here into my Nidoqueen, but he actually just U-turns out. I was expecting maybe a Draining Kiss or something like that, and my opponent's going to go into his Suicune. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go hard into my Clefable. If he doesn't have Toxic, he's not going to be able to do anything about it. Oh, I didn't go hard into my Clefable, excuse me. I felt he was either going to go for Calm Mind or Substitute, so I just went ahead and got my Stealth Rocks up. And that pressures his Weavile. His Weavile dies to rocks at this point. And as you'll see later, it puts me in a really solid position against all of his mons. So now I go into my Clefable thinking he may be Calm Mind. And what I'm going to do here is Protect. He does go for the Calm Mind. I guess he didn't notice that I took rocks damage and that I am a unaware variant. But here I'm just going to click Wish. And now I'm going to click Protect once more, as he actually just sets up another Calm Mind, which is kind of not really a big deal. Like I said, this Suicune can't beat me, bar RNG. He doesn't have Toxic. That's what I thought he would bring, honestly. Since he had other ways to deal with Chestnut, I didn't think he needed Ice Beam. So I felt like he would be Sub, Calm Mind, Scald, and Toxic. That way, if I was unaware Clefable, he could beat me with Toxic. If I was Magic Guard, he could beat me with Calm Mind. So either way, he could beat me. But he didn't bring that set. He brings a set that's beaten by Clefable. Unfortunately for me, and fortunately for him, he gets a freeze here. And you're going to watch me stay frozen for 2 turns now. And once more. And now he's going to hard switch out into Nidoking as I stay frozen once more. So that's at least 4 turns that I've stayed frozen. I'm going to hard switch out into my Leaky Leaky here. And you're going to watch this thing's attacks bounce off. They do nothing. They can't do nothing. He goes for the Poison Jab here, and despite me being more specially defensive than physically defensive, I'm still able to eat up the Poison Jab relatively well. And here, I don't know if it's this turn or the next turn, but I'm going to click Earthquake here. Yeah, it is this turn. I click Earthquake, and now he takes 66%. So he has no way to beat Clefable now. When he takes Stealth Rocks damage with Weavile, he dies. When he takes Stealth Rock damage with Nidoking, he dies. So I don't even know why he hard switched out, to be honest. And if Clefable wasn't burned at this point, Clefable just wins the fucking match. Are you kidding me? Anyways, I'm going to go out to my Mega Alakazam expecting the lead seed. I didn't want to take any damage here, and I knew that there was a potential for me to be faster if he didn't go for his priority Draining Kiss, but he does, which is fine play. I'm going to click Psychic here, get the knockout. The crit did not matter, and he's going to go into his Mega Gallade. And I do have Psychic. What is my set? Psychic, Hidden Power Fighting, Encore, and Recover, I believe. Recover or Taunt. One of the two. Anyways, he's going to go for Swords Dance here, and I almost clicked Encore. Had I clicked Encore right there, that would have been amazing. That would have been amazing. Unfortunately, I didn't. I felt damage was more important to put him in range, guaranteed range of Moonblast in case he had Zen Headbutt or Poison Jab. Obviously, it's not going to be able to OHKO me, and his boost doesn't really matter. What I'm going to do here is sack off my Nidoqueen as he goes for the Ice Punch. And now I'm going to bring in my Clefable here, and you're going to see that he doesn't even have Zen Headbutt. His best way to hit me is close combat. It's doing more damage than Ice Punch. This is fucking insane. So I get frozen, or I don't thaw out. I don't thaw out again, which is just insane to me. It's just making no sense. I tried to click Protect there, was the reason I went first. And here what I'm going to try to do is hope that, I can live a close combat with my Garchomp and make him take a couple rounds of Rough Skin or whatever. But it's not, you know what I'm saying. It's really unfortunate. Clefable got frozen there, and that's going to be game. It's really dumb that this game turned out like that. This should have been a dominated match, really, it should have been. But anyways, we're going to end it here for game 1, and we'll hop into game 2 now. Alright, so here we are with game 2, and my opponent has a very scary squad. He's got Tapu Koko, Mega Venusaur, Heatran, Uxie, Araquanid, yeah, another Araquanid, and Sneasel. For this match, we're bringing Garchomp, Clefable, Nidoqueen, Bronzong, Oricorio, and the Mega Alakazam. Pretty fun squad. Nothing too crazy about it. Pretty okay. We have a, I think we're rocking Focus Blast on Mega Alakazam. 3 attacks and recovered, maybe. I think 3 attacks and recovered with Psychic or Psyshock. I'm not. Don't quote me on that. One of the two. Shadow Ball and Focus Blast for Heatran and the Sneasel, of course, and then recover. Oricorio is I think it has. It definitely has Revelation Dance, Taunt, Defog, and maybe Roost. It might not have Taunt. It might just have Defog. And Hurricane for the Mega Venusaur, which isn't too bad at all. And then we've got Bronzong, which is actually a heat-proof variant, so that I can take on a fire-type attack from Heatran and bop it with the Earthquake to open up holes for things like Clefable and Mega Alakazam, which is really nice. And then Nidoqueen is a taunt variant with, I think, Stealth Rock. Does it have Stealth Rocks or does it not? I think it has Earth Power, Sludge Wave, Taunt, and maybe Roar or Protect. I'm not real sure. I don't have my paste bin on me, but I'll drop all my paste bins down below, of course, things like that. For Clefable, I think I have Moonblast, Wish, Protect, and potentially Hidden Power Ground, but don't quote me on that either. And then for Garchomp, we have a sub variant with, I think, Swords Dance, Earthquake, and Dragon Claw. Pretty cool squad, nonetheless. We can go ahead and hop into it, see what my opponent wants to lead with here, as we're going to lead off with our Oricorio in case he led off with Araquanid. He does lead off with his Tapu Koko, though, which gives him a little bit of momentum. We're going to hard switch into our Nidoqueen, but he just U-turns out. So at this point, I don't know what his Koko is. It could be, it could definitely be Scarf, so I don't want to roll that out just yet. Especially with U-turn on there, it's really nice for Mega Alakazam being able to outpace me. But here he brings in his Araquanid, and I'm going to hard switch back out into my Oricorio, just in case this thing wanted to get webs up, I could just defog them away. However, he goes for the Liquidation. It does well over half, and at this point I'm just going to have to get some damage off on this Araquanid here before he's able to knock me out. And Revelation Dance does a half. I'm happy with that. And now I can bring in my Mega Alakazam here and get the knockout, but he does hard switch out into the Uxie here, and it's going to take my Psyshock pretty comfortably. And I don't want to click Shadow Ball here. He could be Thunder Wave, and I definitely don't want that to happen. So I'm going to hard switch out into my Bronzong here, and he misses his Thunder Wave. It's not necessarily too big, though, because Bronzong's slow as hell anyway. It would actually benefit me, bar paralysis, being like full parried or anything like that. It would benefit me because of my Gyro Balls. Anyways, he goes into his Heatran here, takes my Gyro Ball pretty comfortably, and knowing that I'm heat-proof and he doesn't know that, I can stay in here pretty comfortably and click Earthquake, and I'm actually able to take out the Heatran with no difficulty. So that opens up holes for Mega Alakazam, really, and here he's able to, he brings in his Araquanid, goes for the Liquidation, and I actually live. That's how fat Bronzong is. If you guys remember in my Brawl for All draft video, when I talked about my team, a little recap there, I talked about how Bronzong was such a premier steel type in my opinion. And that just goes to show you there. It took a Fire Blast from Heatran, and then took a Liquidation from an offensive Araquanid, and was able to survive, got rid of the Heatran and the Araquanid. So that's so cool. I bring in my Garchomp here as he brings in his Koko. This is pretty scary here, as he's just going to U-turn out. I am Yachi Berry, so I didn't mind to stay in there. And what I'm actually going to do here is click Substitute, as he revealed U-turn earlier. So now I'm going to click Swords Dance as he brings in his Venusaur. He goes for the Hidden Power Ice. I'm not sure why he didn't Mega Evolve. It kind of confused me. I'm actually unsure if that's his mega after we had played, and now watching the replay, I'm still even unsure about it. Anyways, he brings in Sneasel here, and I know I'm Yachi Berry, and if he's not banded or Life Orb, I should be able to live his Ice Shard, and I knock him out with the Earthquake. Icicle Crash was definitely his play there, but obviously he didn't want to miss, and at the same time he thought Ice Shard could knock me out. Anyways, now I'm in range of Coco's U-turn, which is okay. I don't need Garchomp. Garchomp put in the work too. It took out Mega Venusaur and Sneasel. And now what I can do is go into my Clefable here and paralyze this bad boy, hopefully, as he goes for the Thunder Wave of his own. And now we're both paralyzed, which this is good because now Nidoqueen actually has an okay time firing off Sludge Waves. So that's not too bad at all. I can go hard into Nidoqueen here and start firing off Sludge Waves. He doesn't really have an option except going hard into Uxie here, in which it's going to be whittled down by rocks. It's going to take the Sludge Wave. It's going to take the following Sludge Wave as well. And at this range, you can't knock me out anyway. And this thing just being in range of Mega Alakazam already won me the game. And the Coco revealed to not be Choice Scarf. So what I can do now is, had Nidoqueen went down, I would have came in with Mega Alakazam, click Shadow Ball, and then click Psyshock to win the game. But he did get fully paralyzed there, and I was able to take him out with the Nidoqueen, and I get a 3-0 instead of a 2-0 victory, which is okay with me, especially after the first match went down with the freeze on my Clefable. So yeah, it's going to be game 2, and we can go ahead and hop into game 3. Alright, so here we are. We've got our third matchup here in the Brawl for All, and we're facing off against a team that has Landorus, Therian, Mimikyu, Salazzle, Smeargle, Electros, Mega Scizor, Tangrowth, and the Slowbro. With his Z-move options being Mimikyu and Salazzle. He chooses to bring no Mimikyu, so Salazzle is his only Z option. He doesn't bring the Mega Scizor, which is really nice. Decides to bring the Landorus, Smeargle, Electros, Slowbro, Tangrowth, and Salazzle. Now we have, hear me out, we have a Yachi Berry Garchomp with Earthquake, Flamethrower for the Mega Scizor, and Hidden Power Ice for the Garchomp, and we have a minus defense nature, so that I think it's lonely, so our Earthquakes do the most possible, while our Flamethrowers and Hidden Power Ices are non-hindered. For our last move slot, we have Toxic. Toxic allows us to severely cripple Electros, Slowbro, and Tangrowth, which is really nice. Earthquake bops the rest of his squad, and then Hidden Power Ice and Flamethrower will do the job versus things like Landorus and Tangrowth, which otherwise resist. Well, I guess the Electros too with its ability. Clefable is a Moonblast variant. It's an unaware defensive variant to take on the Landorus the best I can. And then we have Wish Protect, I believe, on the bad boy. Nidoqueen is speed creeping Smeargle and has Taunt, so I can prevent that thing from doing any kind of weird shenanigans. And it's also immune to Nuzzle. Same thing for Oricorio. Both are speed creeping Smeargle and can avoid and get rid of hazards. Well, Nidoqueen can't get rid of hazards, but it can avoid Nuzzles and prevent them from, getting hazards up with Taunt, which is really nice. Licky Licky, I thought about running Ice Beam on Licky Licky, but I kind of felt Flamethrower was a little bit better, as it does hit the Landorus. It doesn't do super effective damage, but it does hit it nonetheless. I do have Toxic on there as well, and or do I have Toxic? I might have Earthquake on there, because I'm more of a Spadef variant to kind of take on Salazzle. And then we've got Oricorio, like I mentioned, gets rid of hazards, can taunt and blow things back with Revelation Dance and Hurricane, which is really nice. Hello? Alright. Be careful. No. Love you, bye. And Mega Alakazam is a Psychic, Hidden Power Fire, Taunt, Recover. I didn't want to run coverage for Slowbro. I felt like, it's going to be fat. It's going to be able to get a Thunder Wave or something off. I didn't want that to happen. I would rather taunt it, prevent it from recovering, prevent it from setting up, and wear it down slowly with Psychic. And then when I get low, I can use Recover to recover up and then Slowbro has to switch if it wants to get any kind of regenerator health back or anything like that. Anyways, looking at matchup, I felt like there's a few different things he could lead with, but I'm going to lead off with my Nidoqueen because, you know, it's dedicated to stop the Smeargle. He does lead with Smeargle, tries to Spore, I taunt that, and then get up my own rocks, and he's forced out. He goes into his Electros, he gets a critical hit here on the knockoff, not too big of an issue. I guess it's kind of problematic, but I do believe I get a wish off to Nidoqueen later, so it's not too big of an issue. And he U-turns out here as I'm going to pull a heart, as he goes into Landers, I'm going to pull a heart switch out into my Clefable. I take the Earthquake pretty comfortably, and what I can do is throw off a wish here and see what my opponent wants to do. As he goes out hard into Electros, I don't want to lose my item, so I'm going to go back out into Nidoqueen as he reveals Aqua Tail. So that was a pretty cool tech there. Well, not really a tech, but a pretty cool move and a nice prediction there to think that I would throw off the wish to the Nidoqueen. So what I'm going to do is just wear down the Electros with Nidoqueen so that's in range of Mega Alakazam, and then I'm going to bring in Mega Alakazam, Mega Evolve, and knock this bad boy out. It should die despite looking like an Assault Vest variant there. Anyways, Tangrowth comes in, and I know I can take any one hit, so I am going to taunt him first, and I'm going to recover up on the following turn, and the next turn he goes for the Sludge Bomb, so that was okay. That was really nice for me, as now I can hard switch into Garchomp. I avoid the poison too, which is really nice. He does go out to the Slowbro here. I think I throw off a Toxic here on this turn though, so that was really nice for me. There's no way he was switching Salazzle in, and anything on his squad being Toxic would have been nice. Had he went Smeargle, and I landed Toxic on it, the following turn I could knock it out. If he went Landorus, I would have it poisoned, and then probably Hidden Power Ice into the poison would knock it out. And then he does go into the Slowbro, which is actually really nice for me. I'm actually going to click Earthquake here because I am Yachi Berry. I can take an Ice Beam. So he's going to pull a double predicting me to switch. And this opens up a hole for me as I'm able to get rid of Smeargle. So Garchomp's put in the work so far. It's come in on Sludge Bomb from Tangrowth, took no damage basically, threw off a Toxic on the incoming Slowbro, and then clicked Earthquake in the face of a Slowbro because I knew I was Yachi Berry. I knew I could take any one hit, and he actually pulled a double expecting me to switch into his Smeargle, and when his Smeargle come in, I stayed in and clicked Earthquake, and that thing went bye-bye. Now he brings in his Landorus Therian here, and I'm going to click Hidden Power Ice. I'm lonely natured. Unfortunately, I get a crit, and my opponent reveals that he was also going for Hidden Power Ice. However, he was not Yachi Berry, so I would have been able to 2-hit KO him. And I am Yachi Berry, so his Hidden Power Ice wouldn't have did nearly as much as my Hidden Power Ice was going to do to him. I was going to 2-hit KO him regardless, and basically all he would have did was took me roughly down to like, I don't know, 50-60%. However, now my Clefable comes in, and it gets frozen. So this is a little bit reminiscing of the first match where my Clefable being frozen cost me the match. So what I'm going to do immediately is pull a switch out to my Mega Alakazam and not let that bad boy, not let the freeze influence this game. I can't let the freeze influence this game, I can't. So I'm going to fire off a Psychic here, and he brings in his Tangrowth, and basically what's happening here is Mega Alakazam is going ham. He doesn't have... He can't do anything about this. What I can do is recover up every time I get low and spam Psychic. Spam. He brings in the Slowbro. He takes almost 30%. And in conjunction with Toxic, what I can do here is taunt him. He can't recover up. I'm going to be able to wear him down. And like I mentioned, there's the Thunder Wave. Exactly what I wanted to prevent, and it worked out perfectly. Tangrowth comes in here. It's going to drop to the Psychic. He's going to be forced out into the Slowbro, where I'm just going to taunt him once again. And then I believe on the following turn, he does go for the Scald. He gets the burn, and what he's going to do is go into his Salazzle. Not this turn. I think it's the next turn. He's trying to whittle me down and bring his Salazzle in on the turn that I recover up, which kind of made me think he might be Scarf Salazzle, but even if he is, he can't knock me out. This Mega Alakazam has a ton of bulk. I didn't need basically any speed investment this match except to outpace the Salazzle. So, yeah, really bulky, and yeah, Mega Alakazam is just going to clean this game up for us. He's going to be able to click Taunt here and spam Psychic to the end game. Nothing too much to say about this. This was I mean, I did get the critical hit on Landorus, but like I said, I was Yachi Berry on my own Garchomp, so it didn't really matter besides like, the game went a little bit quicker. But yeah, still unfortunate nonetheless. But yeah, it's going to be game 3. And game 4 against Sacred Wings was actually forfeited. Sacred Wings had some things come up in real life. He had to drop from the tournament. And our mod, so at this point in time, our mod said that those games would just be forfeited. And we're going to finish off with a 3-1 record in pool play with a +7 differential. Not too bad. Not the best, I don't think. Wait, let me double check. We lost. I forfeited at 4-3. I don't know if that's a -1 differential or a -4 differential. If it's -4 and we turned around and got a 5-0 in this match, that would put us at +1. And then our other match put us at, +3? So that would have been +4. And then the forfeit would put us at +7. However, if it was just a 1-0 loss because I forfeited at 4-3, then we would have a much better differential, I think at +10. So it just depends on how those are looked at. Either way, we did go 3-1. Really, we went 2-1. We didn't have the 4th match, but since we got the forfeit win, we are sitting at 3-1 technically. But yeah, so that's okay for the pool play. Hopefully we can perform better, play better. Definitely going to concentrate more, have more in-depth builds for the actual bracket play. Looking very forward to that. That's where more top tier players, more high caliber names are going to be noticed and recognized and things like that. But yeah, that's going to be it. So let me know what you guys thought about these 3 games and the forfeit, I guess, too. I love how the squad works together. Garchomp and Mega Alakazam have been 2 of my staples in my entire draft league history, my entire draft league career. The Blackmont Raicougars, even back when I was the Pittsburgh Steelix, if you guys remember that, Mega Alakazam and Garchomp has really carried and got me into the position to where I can join these cool leagues and these cool tournaments and stuff like that, and my name's a little bit more known and stuff like that. But yeah, that's going to be it. So let me know what you guys think on the plays, the prep on both sides of the field in all 3 of these games, and the forfeit, I guess. I'll leave that matchup in the description as well, so you guys can kind of get a gist of, an idea of how that match could have went had we played. But yeah, just leave a like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. We'll be in the bracket play. Thank you guys for watching.